Welcome to What You Smokin On podcast. Follow me for equity.
Whoa. What you smoking podcast. Getting right. Rolling tight. Up there smoking that sticky tonight. Inhale. Exhale. Don't cough. Don't choke. Just breathe in slow and hold the smoke. Yeah.
Yo, here we go again. Here we are, back at it. This is just a little brief update on what we're doing here at What You Smokin podcast. Want to know what you smoking in your town? How is it smoking? How you smoking? What you smoking? What you're doing with it? We want to do that. We want to find out what we're doing. We're trying to gain our little fellowship here and find out what we need to do to make this a better way in our smoke environment. First of all, as always, we do our shout outs. Little Rock, Arkansas. How you smoking, Little Rock? Oh, over in the Philippines, Day, how y'all doing? Had a big earthquake over there. I hope everything is all right. Look out for the Philippines and Day and the tribe over there. Tech Reviews, Chris out of Brooklyn, Free Game, Seattle, Washington, Jay Will, Major Grams out of North Carolina, we got Miss Donna Murray. Donna, what's going on with you? What you smoking? Bob Wire, y'all tuning on the Bob Wire. They got it going on there. North Carolina, Big Carlos, what you got going? New Jersey, Magic Brown, Newark, Essence Room, Big Snap in Florida, in Big Tampa, Memphis, Tennessee. All my guys out in Memphis, Tennessee, Milwaukee, Shaba in Albany, Georgia. All the boys in Albany, Georgia, Denver, Colorado, Big Denver, LaRon, all of you guys, ATL, Big Man and your crew, Louisiana, Sweetport, Baton Rouge, Bingo. You guys, how you doing? Hey, and it wouldn't be right if it wasn't Cali Life. Clinto, my guys, they in the house. Big Knob Capone, we got them going on. PDQ, we got it going on. We pushing it, man. We gaining a following one step at a time. Let's get this going. So just like we start off all the time and we deal with the legislation. Hey man, Marv, you be reading? Yeah, I got to read it. I don't sit and doing legislation in Colorado. Governor Gennard Paulus is calling for federal action and support the freedom of the Coloradans' right to be responsible gun owners and responsible marijuana users at the same time. Hey, Colorado, they say that he's pushing for freedom of Coloradans, the rights to be responsible gun owners and responsible marijuana users. Now, Florida Attorney General tweeted, Smart and Safe Florida failed to get an amendment in the 2026 ballot despite numerous cases of fraudulent petitions. The work of our Office of Statewide Prosecution will continue. We will all protect the integrity of Florida's Constitution by holding every last fundraiser accountable. Oh, they mad in Florida, boy. That Florida thing, they don't want this going down. They don't want no cannabis, you dig? That's the mouth. And Florida, they call that the East Coast. Well, we'll get in that later. New Jersey acting attorney general spoke with lawmakers about marijuana issues at a hearing. The state of Washington, the senator discussed his support for the bygone psychotic reform legislation. Michigan, regulators filed complaints against marijuana businesses over alleged violation. So they still, they arguing, but once the bigwigs get this and put it into effect, you'll see legislation in the next year and a half start to swing, and the legalization of marijuana is coming. And your 7-Eleven, you'll be able to buy cannabis just like you buy menthol cigarettes that they outlawed in California, because now everybody hooked on menthol. The next thing they do is buy marijuana. That's your next, hey, subliminal seduction. Remember that. They always have a plan for you. And we're up on it. We're going to be on the forefront of making this not just being consumers. We're going to be producers in Pottsgrove Farms, in What You Smokin. We're not going to be set back and let it happen to us. We're going to be there when it happens. So now let's get into Northern Lights. Northern Lights, indica or sativa. Northern Lights is an indica-dominant cannabis strand comprising primarily of 95% indica and 5% sativa genetics. It is famous for heavily relaxed body effects and is commonly used for evening and nighttime consumption. They say Northern Lights will put you down. 95% indica, 5% sativa. It's between 26 and 30% THC. Hey, that's your Northern Lights brand. Then we got Blue Dream. We're dealing with Blue Dream is a slightly sativa dominant hybrid, 60% sativa, 40% indica strand that is potent, cross between the hugely popular Blueberry X Haze strands. It is famous boast of moderately high THC level that ranges from 17 to 24 on the average, and moderate in both indica and sativa effects. Users describe Blue Dream as a high having an immediate onset of uplifting cerebral head high, and levels off to completely motivate and focus you with waves of creative energy, and quickly and hard. This accomplishes a mellow, relaxing body that it leaves you in a warm, numb, completely pain-free. Due to the potent combination effects, Blue Dream is said to have one of the ideal strands. It's subrial. I can't say it right now, guys. It's suburbial effect. That it's talking about the subconscious in your head, and it gives you the effect of a good head high. So well, strike me on that one. We'll get back to you. But those are the two. We got Northern Lights and we have Blue Dreams. Blue Dreams and Northern Lights. Now, let's get on to some stuff that we're currently going through. This Carmelo Anthony trial. I'm looking at these posts. These white Americans, they're making things like, I don't even know why this is a trial. It has no substance for self-defense. When 3 whites attack one black boy, they have such a way. He was killed, and it was so gruesome. How could you ever think that he needs to go to prison for life? 130 pounds, and both of the twins weighed 225 pounds. They make it like, he just asked him, why would he bring a knife to a high school. It's not against the law to have a knife. He wasn't in high school. He was at a track meet. And whatever he was doing with a knife, he asked, man, don't put your hands on me. They have footage. But this white jury, and you have, I think it's 3 Asians and 2 Mexicans who don't have any sympathy for blacks in America at all. We've been through that dealing with them. So now everybody has come to the conclusion, oh, he's going to get convicted. He's going to prison and he should get life. He should get life for killing these innocent boys. And they didn't warrant that kind of behavior. Let's look at the history of Texas. Texas jury this week convicted Officer Roy Oliver for murdering 15-year-old Jordan Edwards and sentenced him to 15 years. Jordan Edwards, at the time, in 2017, Jordan Edwards was in his car, 15 years old, and an officer approached him and ends up killing him for no apparent reason, but he was found guilty and given 15 years. Like, okay, an innocent black child killed by a grown white man, he was just given 15 years. Now, let's say Jasper, Texas, June the 7th, 1998, James Boyd, a 49-year-old black man, was brutally murdered and targeted hate crime in Jasper, Texas. 3 white men, James William King, Lawrence Russell Brewer, and Sean Berry, offered him a ride, beat him, chained him to the back of a pickup truck, and drug his body for nearly 3 miles, resulted in a horrified mutilation of his death. Now, now, let's get to, on the night of September the 6th, 2018, 26-year-old accountant Banton Jean was murdered in Dallas, Texas by an off-duty police officer, Amber Geiger, who entered Jean's apartment and fatally shot him. Geiger, who said she had entered the apartment believing it was her own and believed that he was a burglar. How did you get in his apartment? You stayed next door. And they gave her 10 years. So we look at the balance. It says here that an ex-police officer in Dallas suburb who was convicted of killing a black teenager. It's the first time in 45 years that Texas officer had ever been found guilty in the murdering of a black person while on duty in 45 years. So we got one that did a brutal killing of a 15-year-old boy. He got 15 years. A white woman goes in a black man's apartment and fatally kills him in his own apartment and says, oh, my bad, I was in the wrong apartment. And she gets 15 years in Texas. Now, here is this boy, Carmelo Anthony, that went and took a seat to get out of the rain under a tent. And 4 guys walk up on him and told, oh, he just asked him, would you please move? You know that's not even realistic. But white America wants to cap up, and he came in with intention to do this. And what makes it so heartbreaking that we have these Negroes that's siding, well, why did he bring a knife? And the Metcalf family was so, I saw a juror hide her face, and she was so stricken by the picture of Metcalf in the gaping wound 130-pound boy stabbing a 225-pound boy. It had to be some aggression on his part for him to, he was lunging into Carmelo Anthony, and the centrifugal force of his body and the knife, so he killed himself, actually. So it is so bad that we are into this type of thing that we have to come into a dilemma. This boy is going to get convicted, and it's going to be real bad, and Black people are not going to do anything about it. Stay tuned. I'll get with you tomorrow.
Tell me what you smoking on. What you smoking on podcast. What you smoking on podcast.